creative friends, it's Gwen and I'm back today in the studio and I'm doing a little bit of page planning. So I thought I would turn the camera on and show you guys a little bit of that process. Firstly, I want to show you this though. This is a project planner. This is a free downloadable printable file that you can grab off of the website. I'll leave a link in the description box below. So go ahead and grab this and print a couple out because I use these quite a lot in my planning of projects, and I'm going to show you how. So all of these layouts here are going to have come from one of three places. I will have been inspired by a photo, I will have been inspired by a product, or I would have been inspired by an idea or a challenge of some type. And when those things hit me, so when the inspiration for a photo, a product, or an idea or a challenge hits me, I make a little note of it. Sometimes I will just grab a blank sheet of this and write something really quickly and just have it kicking around the studio. Most of the time though, I'm not in the studio, so I'll just pop it on my phone. So what we'll do is we'll dive on in and I'll show you a couple of examples. This is one that was inspired by a photo. So this is a photo of our family pet, Ferris. He's a boy. I don't scrapbook a lot of boys, so I find it a bit challenging sometimes scrapbooking him. And I knew I had this cut file. It's a fairly new one from the store and it's a geometric shape, and I know that geometrics go really well with boy photos. So I printed the photo out, I cut the cut file out, and I've just popped them into a little baggie like so. I do batch my creating process and I'll talk about that as we go along. I just find that it's really, really efficient. It really helps me create more in less time, but it also, and I do talk about this a lot on my channel, it helps me eliminate options and choices, and that for me is a good thing. This one was inspired by a product. This one came from this cut file, which is another newer design, and it's a summer one. And I thought, you know what I need? I love scrapbooking summer, so it's not hard for me to find summer photos, and I do have these three. Now that's a lot of photos for this layout. That's not going to work. But I had them all and I wasn't sure which one I was going to use, so I just printed them out to have a couple of options. So when I printed the photos out and the cut file was cut, again, I've just popped them in a baggie. And what I like to do is when my photos are out, when I'm printing photos, I like to print a whole heap at once. Even though I do print at home on a Canon selfie, it takes time to pull the Canon out, to set it up, to link it to my phone. I'm in the mindset of printing photos, so I don't think it takes that much longer to print out 5 or 6 or 10 or 20 really than it does to print out 1 or 2. So I do a lot of batching of, like I batch the cut files. I cut out a heap all at once because again, that takes time to set up my silhouette. And I'm in the mindset of like, what kind of cut files do I want to work with over the next few layouts? So I do cut them all out at once, and then I print all the photos out at once, and then I collate them all like this together. And yeah, so this is another one. So it's got, this one was inspired by these photos, and I thought it would be nice to put them with something more delicate. So I've got these cut files here. This is like a wreath. And I really like that. And I thought, because these are quite small, these could be quite nice sort of to nestle in, something like that. That's the idea behind that one. Okay, so for this one, I have actually been inspired by an idea or a challenge, and this is going to be for Challenge Me, Challenge You, I think September. Yes, September. So I am actually going to challenge Sue with a sketch, and she's given me a sketch, and here are some sketches. I'm going to try and keep as much of this as a surprise as possible, but so the sketch that I'll be using is on this page. And then we're also working with a color for this challenge, and I've got a couple of options here. I'm not sure which one I'll be working with yet, and I don't want to tell you, but I thought even I might try and get both of these photos on the layout. There are a couple of sketches here that do have multiple photos, so I think I might try and get both of these photos on the layout. Yes, my color is in these photos. Yeah, and what I've done too for this one, I have made myself a few little notes. So obviously there is a color challenge, so I've got those as options. I've also got another color because I didn't want to give everything away. So this is the photos that I've got, and they've both got purple and green in them. They also have black in them. I've also got a note here about the sketch, and then obviously the color challenges. And I've put a note here that I'm really inspired to use 2 photos. And that's just so that when I go to create the layout, that's top of my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I wanted to use both of these photos if I could on my layout. I also, if I have a deadline, I like to put it here just so that I can keep track of everything, because I'm sharing a lot and I do have a bit of a schedule with some of the shares. So I do make a note of that here. If I had just an idea or a mood board or just one sketch, I would actually put it here. I've only printed it like this so that I don't spoil the surprise for you guys for coming in September. So that's that one. I also have sort of similar, there's this one which is a challenge as well, and it is circles and stamping. So for this one, I did very, very similar thing, and this one you'll see, this one's coming up in August. So you will see this share very, very soon. I need to get making it very, very soon. So I found, because this was inspired by the 2 challenge things, so circles and stamping, the first thing I did was pull these out because they are both circular and stamping. So I really want to try and get these onto my layout. I also pulled this cut file, which is a circle background one. I think it's called Confetti from memory, and I'd really like to use that as a background. I have this photo that I want to work with of Caitlin when she was little. Again, I printed this in bulk when I printed these other photos. I printed them all out at the same time. So I kind of had a bit of a list of the photos that I was looking for, went onto the computer, found those photos and printed them all out at once. I also have for this one, oh yeah, I've got an idea. So it's just like inspiration and notes. So I want to look at maybe adding some Spiegel Mum scrap sequins inside of the circles. So in each of these little dots, I kind of thought that might be cute. I haven't used sequins in a little while, and I thought, why not try that? So this share is for August 13th, so that I know, oh, and I can also too, often, if I've got dates, I'll actually pop them in date order so I know what I need to be working on next. This is my sketch inspiration, which you can already see is not exactly where I'm going because I've got this already. So I'm already a bit off track. But what I did like was the idea of it being like a top heavy. See how it's top heavy and then it kind of goes lower at the bottom? So I'm thinking maybe something like that. We'll see. And then we'll have to add these circles. I'm gonna stamp them separately and cut them out separately. Anyway, we'll see. This is a beautiful layout by Missy Whidden, the amazing Missy Whidden, love her. And I've just made a note of that so that I know. And that's that. So it's all ready to go in there like that. Often too, if I have a specific scrapbook product in mind, for example, there was one in here. So this one's super not even started in terms of idea. I've got the cut file and then I've just made a note saying I want to use up some paper scraps in the cubes. So that's it. There's no photo. There's nothing. That's all I've got for that one. This one, so this one's been in here for a while, clearly, because it says See photo on phone for layout design. So I must have found a layout that I kind of was inspired by. Use the Cocoa Vanilla Studio Christmas collection and Christmas in July, maybe. So obviously, because I didn't put a date on that and didn't schedule that into my diary, well, we didn't get there, did we? But that's okay. So that's again the cut file, and my photo is ready to go. So really, I think this is the difference for me. When I go to the trouble, this is kind of like out and about, just getting an idea, quickly write things down. This gets me really planning, really nutting out the idea, getting it on the, like, onto my like schedule for when I want to create it and when I want to share it. It's a little bit more formal process, but I feel like that actually helps me get stuff done. So yeah, it's good too if you just like, if you're worried about forgetting ideas or yeah, thinking of something amazing and then forgetting about it, I feel like this is a really good option. Okay, so this one I think is a surprise, so I'm going to leave that just like that. But obviously it's a photo of my daughter and her school coat, and this is a school kind of inspired cut file to go with that. This one is a work in progress. So I actually started this when I went on Scrapbook retreat. You would have seen those videos. I spent the time while I was at retreat backing this cut file. It took a long time, and then didn't feel like I needed to finish it then and there. Popped it in a bag and it sat here for a little while. So I think I do want to schedule a time and kind of get this one finished. This is one that was inspired by the photo. So this is a photo I took of us while we were away in our van last trip. And that's our setup. And I really wanted to do something that it's kind of like our home away from home. So that I planned for this page is to put the title down the bottom there. And then this photo is going to go here. So it's going to be very centered and very geometrical, would it be? Balanced, mirrored, I don't know the word. So what I might do is just show you really quickly how I go about that. So for this one, I would go home sweet home. And sometimes the good thing about this is you can write the cut file, or you can write your ideas for the cut files here. So you could write like butterfly or geometric. You don't have to know the name. You don't have to have the file cut. You could just write them out and have your little stack of projects that are planned. And then when you go to binge cut and cut all your designs at once, you've got a checklist. You know what you need to have done. So you're not spending time on your computer going, oh, what kind of cut file do I want? I don't know. That's where, for me, that kind of process is just fraught with danger and indecision. I would sit there for hours because there's hundreds of cut files. How would I choose one unless I had some way to narrow down the choices? So yeah, it's funny. And you know what? I thought it was just me, but I do get a lot of people in the comments and like messaging me going, I am the same. You'd think that having lots of choices and lots of options for products and supplies and designs and things would be a good thing. And it is a good thing, but it gets to a point where it becomes not a good thing. It becomes very overwhelming. And not just for me, for many of you too. So home sweet home is going to go at the bottom. And I might just go and put a little note here and just go centered. Had to think about that. And then my landscape photo here. And then I might just go centered. Just so I remember, because I've only just sort of done this. And then for colors, I might just go neutrals. And there is a Jen Hadfield. There is a Jen Hadfield collection. I don't know what it's called, but there was one that I bought. Oh, that should go down here. Use the Jen Hadfield collection I bought for van photos. There's a specific collection that I bought with the plan to scrapbook all of the van photos. I know which one it is, I just don't know the name of it. So there's that. And that's all I think I need to say about that for now. So then this can go in here. I might add to that as I think of things, but that will do for now. So that's that one. See this one? This is a perfect example. I had the cut file as the first point, and then on a sticky note, I just wrote super fast. I might have just gone like, oh, wasn't there some photos of Caitlin at the library? And then I've just written Katie library photo, and now I have those printed out. So again, I wasn't sure, there was two. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use, or I think I might use both because I don't often scrapbook with two photos, and I know that that's something that you guys would like to see. So I'm going to try and put both of the photos on this layout, and I think I can because the bookshelf does take up quite a lot of space in the background, so I feel like I could fit those on there. And then lucky, is this lucky last? Oh, a couple more. This one was inspired by photo. So this was just a photo of Chris and Caitlin at the wedding that we attended. It's actually Chris's other daughter, so my stepdaughter's wedding. And I had this cut file already cut out, and I really like how simple it is, and I don't want to take too much away from the photo. So I think I'm going to be using this cut file with this photo. And I've just had a thought. I do want to use the new Cocoa Vanilla Studio collection for this because it's a perfect match to Caitlin's dress. So in supplies needed, I'm going to write Storyteller CVS, which is kind of I always just write that just because I've used them for so long. Storyteller, Cocoa Vanilla. And I think that will do because that will remind me. See, I would love to be able to put the supplies with these packets, but I feel like it would just end up being too bulky and I would feel a bit overwhelmed by that. And then what if I want to use more than one collection on more than one project? So I find that it's just easier to write down my ideas here. When the time comes to create the layout, I can just pull the supplies. Okay, so I'm going to chuck that in there because I will forget that if I don't write that down. Okay, and because I'm in the mindset of this, and I thought I've just spent quite a bit of time today going through and sorting this, and then I thought, yeah, why not show you? So this is another one. This is a design that I had stored for a while and just wanted to get used up, and I really like how whimsical this one is. It's a little bit Disney. I've used it on Disney layouts as well. It's like it's a very kind of, whimsical, really fun layout. But that's not what inspired this page. What actually inspired this page is this product. So it's been kicking around. You know that I have been on a bit of a Maggie bust of late. Well, this is the past year now. I think Maggie Homes Monday is up to episode 30. And this is still in its original packaging. Can you believe that? How wrong is that? So this is from Carousel. What year does it say? 2017. That is a crime that this is still in its packaging. So I am super inspired to use it on this layout. And I think I'm going to use this photo. That I really like how that sits with that. I think it's really soft and lovely. And I think this is really cute too. And I like that either or works. I like that dream works, and I like that love you works. So I've kind of put a challenge out to myself. If I can't get one of these titles on this layout, they might have to go. So I know it's a big call, isn't it? So surely I can make that work. So that's definitely the idea behind that layout. I'm not sure, actually, the one thing that I probably do want to use for this one, and I might make a note of that, and I probably won't use a whole sheet for that. I think for this one, I'll just write Maggie Homes Monday. because that's obviously carousel, but I won't be using, I don't think I've got much left of carousel other than this. And I'm thinking soft colors. But other than that, I don't really have, that's still a lot. Like, that's a starting point, right? And this is the thing. Often I'll be like, where do I start? I'm not sure what to do. I've got a million decisions to make, and I've already made a million decisions today. So how am I going to start creating? How am I going to start that creative process? And this works for me, because if I was to pull this out, I've already made several decisions. I've made a decision about my title and a product that I'm using. I've made a decision about the background. I'm going to use this in my background. I've decided on my photo. I know now all I need to do is choose some papers and a color kind of scheme. I can start backing the cut file and I'm on my way. And that momentum is really what helps me to create. It's the starting that I find super hard, because I'm like, I don't know where to start. So I wonder if you're like that, let me know, because yeah, I'm very, very much like that. And I know you don't often see it in the videos. When you see the tutorials and stuff, you see this, like, you know, layout that's come together and everything's looking great, but you don't see the, you know, 45 minutes that it took me to decide on the pattern paper, or, you know, that side of it. Okay, in you go. So that's my process for batch creating and getting more layouts done in less time. I hope you enjoyed that. If you're looking for some stash busting ideas, be sure to check out the Maggie Holmes Monday playlist. I'll leave a link for you here. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, bye.